All right, so here is my session. Originally, I intended on making, a short beat, then just doing like a mashup of different tempos with just like some cool video on top. But what I ended up doing was just really liking the beat that I came up with, and then I'm kind of like I'm a movie guy, so these sounds also kind of like got me in the mood, made me really think of and were really inspired by like Bladerunner vibes and Alien, and it just kind of put me in that like futuristic industrial sort of thing, right? When I was making this, I really wanted, once I decided I was going to put like other instruments on it besides just drums from the sample pack, I was really into like trying to like go after that cinematic trailer Blade Runner sort of vibe. And so that's what inspired me to use like all these, I mean, these are just like stock Logic sounds, but like those synth saws and stuff like that, super low subby things. And there's a lot of stuff I tried and I was like, nah, I'm not going to use that. I'm going to mute it. But anyway, let's just solo this stuff. Anyway, all that like screams Blade Runner, like 80s futuristic vibes, right? So I thought it matched the sample pack like perfectly. So let's run through what I got here. Started out when I made this, I really wanted it to sound like spooky, like warehouse vibes, like when I forget the character's name in Alien. This is showing how bad of a fan I am. The guy who dies, who has I think it's his cat, right? Or no, he's going after the cat. That's what it is. He's going after the cat, and he goes into this room, right? And there's all these chains dangling and stuff, and aliens in there, and it's gonna like mess him up. But I wanted the video to start like that. And then I had this fill in mind that I remembered I recorded, and I just had to find a tempo. I ended up settling at 75. But yeah, I wanted to go for that fill, the bop, 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 bop. And that was going to be bop, 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 industrial, bop, 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 drums. That was just the idea I had, right? And then the whole like build off of that Blade Runner thing came later. But anyway, that's why I wanted to start. So I wanted that like mood, right? Part of this pack, there's different options for chains dangling, and I faded them in, chose certain parts of that, moved them around, and then also incorporated some of the bowings of the cymbals that I have as well on this. So which ones are these? Yeah, I didn't do anything. I think on this one I shifted it. I shifted it down an octave. I don't even know what that is. And then this one I'll talk about in a second, where I put the one knob on it, which is a classic, I think it's Waves plugin that a lot of people like to use. But it worked really well for this, and I'll show you. But anyway, started out with these chains. I'll show you that. Some of those screeching sounds with a cymbal on a stick, or a stick on a cymbal, followed up by the bowing of the cymbal. And then a lower bow here. And then eventually another one. That's the one I pitched down. So originally it sits here. Right, but I just threw that down. So anyway, there's the intro there. On top of that too, I found like industrial ambience noise, right? So I found this like under a pump room of a nuclear power plant that I added in there. Without it. Still has that like creepy vibe. You can still hear the chains being dragged on the floor, and dangle chains dragged right here. Spooky, right? But this just kind of added that extra like industrial sort of angst. And then getting out of that, boom, first fill happens, right? Solo these drums. I use that quirky beat with the opera gong on it. I grabbed a portion of another piece of it to make it feel a little bit more human. And then add a little stack loop here to add a little bit more, I guess, just angst. Go straight to a build. Same thing here, right? So I have this simple groove. Hold on, let me solo that. Just grabbed a piece of it and immediately went into another quirky thing. It's like a quintuplet hi-hat deal, right? Went right back into the simple thing right after that. So simple to quirky, back to simple, and it works really well together, I think. And then added some more like tension with these stacks. The dooch, dutch. And then used a one-shot low tom. Keeping the simple groove. Didn't put a crossfade on it, but you know, what are you gonna do? And then this cool fill that I ended up chopping up a little bit to get more into the vibe and the feel that I was going for. Crash cymbal stuff, stack stuff, all just adding to the vibe and the human element, making it seem as human as possible. But all of these are from the pack. You can use those as tools to break up and mix and match and do whatever you want to do. As far as PERC goes, and look, I labeled it with colors. Look how on brand I am. This is crazy. Okay, so red for the drums, blue for the PERC. Okay, blah, blah, blah. PERC stuff. Got some shakers here. That junkyard shaker is that coffee can right here that I put screws and washers in to give it just some like nasty vibes. It sounds really good. Paired it with a brake drum here. Metal sheet. Switch up here. Got the glass bottle going. Different brake drum pattern. Boom, cha-cha-cha, cha-cha. I built this out of one shot. Oh, there's a brake drum part here that I muted. This other thing I muted because I didn't need it. Anything else cool? Yeah, and just standard stuff, right? Little opera gong there at the end. Together, drums and PERC, just like this. I'll show you a little taste. That's where I started originally. I started there and I was like, cool, let me do like another tempo or two just showing these cool things. But then I was like, you know, this would be really sick if I did like a Bladerunner like trailer attitude towards this. So that's what I ended up doing. And I'm glad I did because it was also less work of having to like, oh geez, now I have to do this like 2 or 3 more times with drums. No thanks. So yeah. And it was fun to play all of that too. On top of that, there were some other cool little things. Like I did this cymbal screech later, right? This is on the break. And it fades in only to be like taken over by this. This is what I have that pump on, right? The one knob pumper. So check this out. And I think it's so sick in the break. With all the instruments on top of it too, it just really adds to it. I think it's dope. Other than that, that's about it. I put like a sub drop in from something else. It's just classic sub drop. I feel like that's not cheating, right? Almost everything is from the sample pack. Anyway, that's just a quick look inside. Quick. That might have been a super long video. I don't know. But it was fun for me. It went by fast. If you end up getting it, let me know if you like it. And hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye.